Bibliofools.
Alrighty. Welcome to Bibliofools, a show where we read books so you don't have to. I am the immaculate Evan Cannell. Kyle, your scripts, you always write me like egotistical.
No, you're immaculate in my eyes. I wrote that for me,
An immaculate.
not for
Wow.
you. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kyle.
I was gonna call you the
Joy-
immaculate contraception, but then I'm like, I don't think that makes sense.
No, that's funny.
Okay,
That's a good, I feel like, ska album name or
immaculate
something.
contraception. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but you're immaculate today, and I can tell you're glowing.
Immaculate contraception sounds like a Blink-182 song.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is
There you go.
yeah.
Pretty punk rock.
You're
I'm a
killing
pretty-
it right now.
I'm a punk
You
rock
are
guy. What can I say?
My goodness. Oh, did you see Superman, Mac?
Yeah, Mac. Did you see
In
it?
Europe? Oh my
No,
god. Okay,
I'm
well
still-
fine. I won't make
I'm still trying to
Superman
talk
jokes.
her into playing it now.
Yeah, do it.
amazing. Well, joined by McKylin Rowe.
Hello.
How are you, man?
Will you
Evan,
lines?
bring me in again.
All right. Joined by McKylin Rowe. How are you, Mac?
I'm good for a guy who just farted so hard his toes turned purple.
That's great. You doing anything fun lately? Wait, that doesn't grammatically make. Have you done anything fun lately?
I have been conspiring with the unseen forces of the universe to create something horrifying, but also beautiful.
And the script just leaves it there, but I'd really like to know what that thing is.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery. The great mystery.
Let's yes and this. I'm conspiring to create something horrifying, but also beautiful. You know that feeling you get like you want to jump off of something? I'm trying to give that
Ye-
to everyone.
Oh, wow.
You monster. But it is beautiful.
And I'm trying to.
It's
It's beautiful because it's connecting everyone.
I've never had that feeling more than when I was on a cruise ship and I couldn't enjoy the cruise because I'm like, I could jump off this damn boat right now.
You thought that for 4 days on a cruise?
That's
Also on the
terrifying.
Golden Gate Bridge. Man, that's all right. I love that bridge. New favorite bridge. Anyway.
This is a book that we won't cover on this show because it's literally a dictionary, but I found
Mhm.
this book called the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. This guy just made up a bunch of words for feelings we all get, but there's no word for it. So I'm sure that there's a word in that book somewhere for the feeling of wanting to jump off of something when you're really high up.
I think, yeah, there is. I don't want to have to Google anything more than I need
It's
to.
called
But that is a thing.
serendipity. No, that's not the word.
That sounds good, though.
I don't think that's
I
it.
like that word.
Well, good. I'm also joined by Kyle Dunshee. Kyle, how are you?
I am good.
Great. Okay, good.
That was it. That's the bit. You guys, that's the bit. I don't want to have to explain the bit to you, but you don't get it.
No, this writing is immaculate.
Go read
Okay.
a dictionary.
It's somehow
I get it.
horrifying, but it's beautiful.
Good.
Kyle, we love you.
I kind
You're
of
loved.
Thank
we
you.
inserted our own little thing and
We
ruined
inserted
the bit.
ourselves.
So it goes. Mac is conspiring with the forces of the universe to create something horrifying but also beautiful. I asked Kyle how he's doing. Kyle says he's doing good.
But
Just 'cause he
also,
didn't
Mac
follow.
farted so hard his toes turned purple.
I did.
That was rough for you.
And I'd imagine that has something to do with the blood vessels. I'm not a medical doctor, but you might want to get that checked out.
Yeah, I think something's wrong. It's weird because my legs are fine, but just the toes. The toes
Just
got
went
the
straight
brunt
to the
of it.
toes.
Straight to the
Yeah.
toes. So I'm worried about my blood flow in terms of effort and force leading to just toes. My face is fine. Like, no other
Your
blood
body's
vessels
fine.
popped. Yeah, my body's
you guys
fine. It was
ever-
just the toes.
Follow up. Have you ever farted yourself awake?
Yeah.
No, actually,
For
I
sure.
don't think so.
What do you mean no? You never farted so hard your body like
No.
physically shakes and you're like, oh, I guess I'm awake now, but I feel a lot
Yeah,
better.
you've never. Have you ever
That
talked
has
yourself
never
awake?
happened to me. Yeah, that
Have you
has
ever been like,
happened.
whoa, hey, hello?
You need
Yeah.
to eat worse. That's what
I
I
just this morning had a dream that I crushed a guy's fingers in a door on accident, and I felt really bad. But it was like in a public restroom. I was going in, and for some reason, he stuck his finger like in the door, and then I felt really bad, and then that woke me up, and I felt so bad about that.
Shame woke you
Ugh.
up. You've been woken up by shame.
The dreams of a really good person. Oh, I accidentally hurt someone.
Oh, I hurt a man. I hurt his fingies. His fingies hurt, and I feel so bad. Instead
Oh,
of like my stomach
God.
is conspiring against me and revolting to the point where I have to wake up from my blissful slumber. Do you want us to feel bad for
I
you,
have to
Evan?
hunt people to completion. And then they kill me.
Wait, you've done what to people in completion in your dreams?
I have to kill them. I have to, like
Oh,
I have to
kill them to
do
completion.
I
I
had
heard
one where
something
Denzel
else.
Washington made me kill, like, a whole party of people, and it felt really awful, and then he was gonna kill me, and I had to figure out how to kill him first, but then I couldn't find a good outfit.
A
It was like
nightmare.
Die Hard. Yeah, and then he was like he was on his way, and then he killed me, and I woke up.
Yeah, dude. He
Dreams are
freaking did.
stupid.
Yeah, dreams are a waste of time.
I
Yeah.
don't think dreams. Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, go back to the Old Testament and, like, he interprets dreams. I don't believe in that. I'm not saying I don't believe in the Old Testament
The Old
because I
Testament
may or may
itself
not
or
believe in the Old Testament itself, but I just don't think dreams carry that much weight, and I'm sure a lot of ancient cultures would wanna fight me on that, but that's my opinion on my own dreams. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we've really gotten off a track.
That's
We
my bad.
went off track. We were talking about Max Toes for a second, which the AI in the dungeon loves toes.
Yeah,
So let us
you are a perfect
remind
segue
our
master.
listeners we're talking Dungeon Crawler Carl again. We put it off for as long as we could physically muster, and we're back with Carl's Doomsday scenario, which follows Carl. This is book 2, and it is the first sequel we've ever done in a series back to back. First of many for this series because
Well,
Yeah.
truly this has changed our lives.
we've done sequels, we've just not done them in order. We've jumped 2 sequels twice, but this is the
Yeah.
first time we've actually read the first book.
All right, so catching back up with Carl, also his talking cat Donut, and their pet dinosaur Mongo. Did we talk about Mongo in the first episode? At
No,
one
and you
point,
know
they
what?
pick
Mongo got
a
missed.
We did, and someone actually commented on our TikTok saying, "Hey, what about Mongo?" And I'd like to extend my deepest apologies. We'll dive into Mongo right now.
right now. We're going to do it right now. Mongo is a velociraptor that they think is a chicken. They're choosing a pet because they beat a boss, and after the boss are like, "You get to pick a pet," and they go into the room, and there's a bunch of cages with animals, and they're like, "This one is a chicken," and of course, Donut is like, "That's the one for me," and then they discover it's a velociraptor, just very young.
Yeah.
Because they had feathers.
Is that
People
official that
don't.
they had feathers?
There were velociraptors with feathers. They were
That's
transitioning
badass.
into becoming birds.
That
Yeah.
badass.
And they were supposed to only be they do it's I think Carl talks about it. It is a mix of what an actual velociraptor would be and then like Jurassic Park. Because like
Yeah.
the actual velociraptors are actually pretty small and kind of skinny and look more like a bird. But then they've clearly just been like, but it still turns into the Jurassic Park thing as you level
Scary
it up.
Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah. Mordecai, their like guide in the dungeon, was like, "You've made a horrible mistake with this pet. This is gonna be a full-blown dinosaur." And of course they just go with it.
They're like, okay.
And Donut loves Mongo. But we'll
Is-
see
Yeah,
that
Donut
is
as
the
we go.
Donut is Mongo's mom.
Yeah. As they enter the third floor of the dungeon, the Overcity, with new classes, harsher rules, and deadlier quests, they are pulled into an elite NPC storyline at a cursed circus. Uncover a necromancer's plan to wipe out the city and narrowly survive a magical chain reaction that nearly destroys the floor.
Yes.
Spooky. It's scary. There's a lot that goes down in this book. That's for damn sure.
This is one of the quicker books. That's why I think this one kind of gets melded in my head into the other books in the series. It's a big just kind of like learning and like practice round,
Yeah, figuring it out.
you know? Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of just like yeah, it's the first time that it's like, okay, you're gonna have they pick some stuff, they do the blah 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 we'll get into. And it's like this is a tester round. This is how you get your feet wet, literally.
Truly. We're on book 2, and we're like 400 pages in. We're still doing quite a bit of exposition and laying
Yeah.
the framework on, like, there's a whole bunch of new stuff. I thought there was a lot of information in book 1, but there's a lot of new stuff in this one too, starting with class selection. So Carl, Donut, and Mongo, they enter the third floor. It's called the Overcity because floors 3, 6, and 9 or 12, maybe all of those. There
I think
is
369.
Yeah, 3, 6, and 9, they follow a single storyline. So it's like, all right, we're going to start the story on floor 3. We're going to do through floors 4 and 5, and then we'll be back to like the middle of the story in floor 6. So now we're setting the stage. It's a sprawling urban zone. There are stricter rules here, just like before, timed collapse of the dungeon and dangerous NPC population. So this looks like a wide open world that's on the surface, even though it's not. It's all sort of a hologram.
Yeah, and you get tossed into the floor with your original party. So anybody that you're with at the last floor, they're gone. You're back to your OG thing. And this is very
Yes.
much like a tester level.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
That's what happens to Katya.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. We're learning more about the book as we're discussing the
Yes,
book.
we are.
I love
This is
books.
this is not the Empire Strikes Back of the series. This is like that part in Empire Strikes Back where Luke is on Dagobah and he goes
The
into like the
Dagobah
weird
system.
castle. It's just that scene, but it's a book.
Okay, yeah.
There you go. So first thing that happens is they have to pick a race and a class. So
Yes.
on the third floor, if you can make it that far, they will turn you into whatever race you pick. There's like a limited number of races that they give you. And if you pick one, they like genetically transform you. You are now a different thing. And they also choose a class, which is more like your job. It's less of a biological nightmare as the class selection.
And it's like it's there forever. Once you choose your race, like
Until
you're
you leave
never
the
gonna be
dungeon.
human again. That's how you leave the
Oh,
dungeon if you leave the dungeon.
oh
I'm
really?
pretty
Even
Oh my
sure,
god.
or am I wrong, Evan?
No,
No,
I think you're right.
Mordecai is still a changeling. He used to be like a bird person,
Yeah,
but he picked his race and he just stays that forever.
yeah. And there's a point where later in the series, a guy who is a different race reflects on how, or maybe it's in this book where he's like, "How will God know us if He doesn't recognize us because we've changed?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
dang."
that's
That's
crazy. I
deep. So
can't
it's a big deal changing yourself. And you might think, "Oh, I want to become more powerful," but it's like, "No, you're changing everything."
There are just consequences.
Yeah.
God might not even recognize you being the
Seriously.
first.
Being the
Second,
which
first.
after that, being that you're an entirely different animal with like lots of different limbs you didn't have before.
Yeah.
it's interesting that some of these characters still believe in God despite the story. This is the
Amen.
perfect example of being like, there's no God, obviously. I'm stuck in a Dungeons and Dragons game with everybody on Earth that they've been making for forever, and it's based off of all pop culture and run by an AI. God's not real.
Or maybe God is more expansive than we ever thought.
That's right.
You gotta
He's
break
just
you
like,
that, Kyle.
it's
All
fine.
right.
We're gonna get through.
We'll-
Amazing.
we'll-
So
We'll unprogram you someday. I'm just kidding. You're not programmed. That's a joke.
Can't be done.
Won't be
Carl
done.
chooses to become a primal, which is he still looks and just feels like a human, but I don't even get the primal thing,
I don't
honestly.
get the primal thing either.
So I don't either. It's this thing of like they're like it's like an ancient like fairy tale race, and that's why it just is human because it's like not actually there isn't like a different thing. It was just like this was like what people used to like. This is what you started out as. This is the thing that started the universe. Was like people started out as primals, and then they
It's like the
grew and changed and
base.
evolved. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
But then since they don't know anything about it and it's like a fairy tale, they're like, you can just stay human, but your stats will go fucking crazy.
That's the main bonus is that primals can level up their stats higher than everybody else. So it only really becomes a benefit in the later floors after you've
Yeah.
like assuming you make it, and then if you're able to like grind your skills super high, then it's good to be a primal. But it
You can
sets you
get
back a
godlike
little bit,
strong.
right? Doesn't he go back 3 levels on everything because he's
I
a
think
primal?
he like it takes like 5 away from his base stats, but then he also has to use the 35 that you would get to raise certain things. And because the other thing he chooses, I think he ends up having to spend a bunch of his stats on his charisma because he has to have a certain level of charisma to be the other thing that he chooses. Do we have what he chooses written down?
Yeah, he's a
Compensate.
Yeah.
compensated anarchist, which
Yeah.
is kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's fun. Yeah.
Which I think is why I think that's the joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets bonuses like he gets to blow shit up more. I think he's
Yeah,
like a
he's
bunch
like
of
super good with
explosive.
bombs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his
And
charisma
then
goes up.
Donut, she chooses
Former child actor.
Former child actor.
that's her class, and she stays a cat. Of course, because it just wouldn't be fun if Donut turned into like a goblin.
Yeah.
It would be less fun.
Can't introduce this like awesome cat character and then be like, but now it's a
Now it's a person.
yo-yo. I don't know. Can you change into a yo-yo?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yes, you can.
That was a ridiculous example. Forgive
I
me.
would love to change into a yo-yo, just a sentient yo-yo that just like randomly is like and hitting people in the face.
Yeah, just do
Yeah.
insane tricks, insane
Causing
yo-yo
Oh my
tricks.
god.
damage.
I'd be walking the dog. I'd be going across the bridge.
I'd be
All right.
Boom.
So last time we tried to pick classes, but we rushed it. So this time we've come prepared with a whole list.
I
So
feel
we're
better
gonna
about mine
do
now.
I feel good
Okay.
about mine. Did you guys pick a name too? I have a fake name as well that I've made up.
good. I can't wait.
Oh,
What did you
well,
choose,
what-
McKylin?
Okay. So, I mean, we'll set this up as we're going to just we're going to track our character. We're making characters with the lit RPG. And we're not going to do anything with them. And we're probably not going to even think about it, except for when we're doing the podcast. So, there you go, listener. This is for you we're all hanging out. Make your own characters. I don't give a shit. So, my guy, I came up with the name. All right. I don't really feel great about the name, but I picked Poe Vin Walker.
Like,
Is my character's name. Poe Vin Walker.
Amazing. I feel like
Yes.
you're in a buddy cop sci-fi with that name, and I'm
A
here
little
for
bit.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
okay, Povin Walker. What's your race?
Poe Vin Walker. He's a ranger human
Okay,
who is chaotic good, so he's a rebel.
nice.
Yeah. I don't really know
And-
much about what a ranger does, but I thought it was cool, and it made me think of Viggo Mortensen.
Of course, that should be your first thought
Yep.
when you hear the word ranger.
Yeah,
and
that's
what-
the only
what
time
class did-
I've ever heard of it.
I just did a quick glance, and I chose for my class a druid,
Druid.
and my
Okay.
race stout halfling.
Nice.
So that's what I am.
I like
You're-
that.
Just a
Okay.
hobbit.
Just a hobbit,
A
like
chubby
religious
hobbit.
Just a
Hobbit.
hobbit who can turn into animals. Just a stout hobbit that can turn into animals.
I like
and
that. What's your
loves
alignment?
trees. I don't know. Let me look.
Well, while
Alright.
you're looking,
And you got to come
I-
up with a name.
Okay.
Okay, Ev, what do you got?
I'll be a dark elf warlock,
Ooh, nice.
That makes sense.
very mysterious.
I like
And
that.
my alignment, just for fun, will be chaotic evil, which is the destroyer, selfish, destructive, and anarchic.
I love that.
You told me you can have whatever you want, and I chose. I've cast my die.
That's why I
Where-
want to. Can I change mine?
No.
Because I want to be.
No.
I want to be chaotic neutral. I really feel like I whiffed it.
Where do I find alignments?
It's on the
They're
bottom
at the
of
bottom
that
of
text
that list,
The bottom of the list.
under the under the races.
Races.
I didn't want to say like an evil one or neutral, and you guys are like, of course, Mac would pick that. But now that
Oh
Evan's,
man.
you're inspiring me to be brave.
I'm making you worse. It's already working, dude. My mind tricks
No.
are already freaking playing on your brain.
Not even worse. It's making me just. I just am not good or bad. It's actually made me retract even further.
Apathetic. You don't
That's
give
made
a
me
shit.
choose apathy, which is I think more akin to who I am. But it's who I want my character to pay.
Neutral good.
The
The
benefactor.
benefactor does good without strict rules.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kyle's like, don't put me in a box.
Don't
I'm
put
gonna
me
be
in a
good,
box,
but not
just
not in a box.
not the
I'm gonna
box you
do-
think is good.
I'm gonna do whatever kind of good.
Did you pick a name, Kyle? We got
I
to
made a
take
name
this to
up.
the end.
Yeah. Are
made
you
one
writing
up?
these down, Evan? I'll write them down. Are you writing them down? All right.
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll write. Yeah, we'll record. This is going on the record. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we have a transcript, so we can. Perfect.
We do
Kyle,
have a
what's your name? What's your character name? If you don't come up with a character name, I will do it.
My character name is Roscoe Okenheimer.
That is a great name.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Roscoe Okenheimer.
Roscoe Okenheimer.
I'll be Mordrek Vexus.
Badass. That's the most badass thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mordred
I really like how my
Vexus.
character turned out.
That's pretty.
Wait, did
dope.
you like create your character on the thing?
What thing?
It doesn't matter.
No.
internet?
I think you're supposed to roll for all, like the chaotic good and neutral stuff. I think you roll for
No.
that, don't you?
Oh.
Not us. We choose.
None of us. We chose.
We make
We're
our own
neutral.
choices.
Me and
That's right.
Kyle,
Don't
we're not brave
put-
enough to just be good.
No, I'm good.
And then Evan just chose evil.
I'm good, but like, what is good?
Yeah,
that's
what-
that's a
relative.
different episode.
What is good for
We
the
can't get
scorpion
into
is
that.
not good for the slug.
Frog, but yeah.
So close. Okay. All right. So we have Carl and Donut. They are still basically human and cat. Carl blows more stuff up. Donut is a former child actor which is very important because she gets even more charisma, which she already started with a ton. So she's just as sweet talking anybody into anything at this point. But critically, this comes with a benefit, which is the manager benefit, which means your guide from the dungeon, who's supposed to leave you after level 3, becomes your full-time manager and can stay with you for the rest of the dungeon. So Audette, the talk show host lady, told Mongo, you have to make sure you get that benefit so Mordecai can stay with you, because Mordecai knows more about the dungeon than anybody ever.
She
So
told Donut that.
Yep.
You said Mongo. She told Donut. It's okay.
Yep.
She told Donut that. She chose it, and that was a very big deal. It's a very big deal. It carries us through the rest of the books, probably.
It's very important. Yeah. The team grows. The team's growing in this episode.
Yes.
Mordecai not happy about this though, and we don't really know why, because he gets a lot of money. So there's some other reason why he's unhappy, and I still don't know what it is.
He
Well,
says
Mongo-
he usually gets to go and like hang out with his friends, and like there's like you kind of have your own life after that.
Well, this
But
is
there's more to
this
it.
is his
that's true.
last like dungeon. After this, he's free. He had he struck a deal to get out when he was a crawler at floor 13 or something, or somewhere close to that. But he had to stay with the show for however many seasons, like 100 or something. It's been a crazy long time, and this is his last one. So I think you're right. He just he's like, I just want to be done with this. Yeah.
But there's more to Mordecai than meets the eye, as we will learn. Much
the first thing being he's a raging alcoholic.
He's a raging
Figure that out pretty fast.
That's the first thing he does when they make him their manager. He just gets fucking blitzed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we talked about Mongo. They have the Velociraptor. Mordecai is in this book. He's a changeling, so he changes every floor. I think he's like a bugbear. He's some kind of gross, like bear with giant eyes.
This one he's the big sexy demon guy.
Is this he's the sexy
bugbear was was floor 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is, what is he? Not a succubus, an incubus. He's an incubus.
Like the band.
Which I didn't know.
What's the difference between an incubus and a succubus?
We're gonna find out right now.
One's a man.
What's the difference between an incubus and a succubus?
We don't need Siri. Evan knows.
Don't need
Evan
it.
knows.
I already know. I know my demons. All right.
Evan knows his demons.
An incubus is a male demon who preys on women while they sleep.
We know this.
Evan nailed it. God, what is it like to be you? You're just.
What is it like to be you?
What is it like to be this good of a guy?
I met a lot of demons yesterday. Okay.
And you faced them. So proud of you.
Face them down. No succubi? Then it was it incubi or succubi?
Unfortunately, no succubi. Man, all right. So Mordecai now bound as Donut's manager. We talked about him. We will meet in this book Sarina Signet, an elite NPC and summoner whose storyline entangles Carl and Donut. So we're going to get into the whole idea of quests in this one. There are side quests, and she's a big part of one of them. So the other important character that we get introduced that will stay with us for quite a while is Katya. She is a crawler who's in this insane Icelandic party, but she got separated from the party. She's kind of the weak link in that one, but the leader of that party is
Hekla,
and she's a badass. She's like a crazy Viking lady, and she messages Carl because there's an in-dungeon chat, of course.
Yep.
She's reaches out to Carl and says, hey, can you take care of Katya until she's able to reunite with us? They find her, and she looks like a Picasso painting because she's chosen to be a doppelganger, and they can change what they look like, but it hurts, and it's hard to do. So she's not good at it, and she just looks horrifying.
She's like the absorbing man, but also, and she's like she's like a monster truck doppelganger or something, right?
Yeah.
Monster truck driver, I think, is her class. Yeah.
And so she can change her face, but also has all these tank abilities, rush and stuff like that, where she can just blow stuff up with her just throwing her body into it.
Yeah, she's so sad because she's in pain all the time because she has to always morph, and she's like, it hurts really bad every time my face changes from one side to the other. I'm like, I bet that was a bad choice you made, and I'm sure you were geared in the wrong direction, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you learn a lot in this. So this first chapter, you kind of see Mordecai figure out how to get them to do it, and then you find out that a lot of the game guides, they're ex-crawlers, or they have some sort of other reason that they're doing stuff. And so people have all these crazy classes because the guide talked them into doing it. And so
it
they
was
have
malicious. Yeah.
there's like malicious ones.
Yeah.
There's one group of their friends, Amani. I don't know if we talk about Amani and Ellie, but their game guide chalks them into like doing the famous actor thing or whatever, the former child actor, and then just proceeds to like disappear and go and get hammered all the time. It does not help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even the people you're supposed to be able to trust, you cannot trust. Mordecai is the very rare exception to this, even though we don't know what's going on with him fully, but like he's there to help them, and that's enough.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. All right. Well, Carl and Donut, they adapt to their new classes. They learn the Overcity's rules. One of the very important one is that it's very different in the day versus the night. In the nighttime, everything's more dangerous. The monsters sort of come out. They walk the streets, so you're supposed to stay inside at night. And they start grinding mobs to train up their skills, while also now under constant scrutiny by the audience, because what they did in the first 2 levels, they have like won the audience over. They're one of the most watched crawler parties, which is good because it's gonna end up getting them sponsorships and bonuses. But yeah, they're in the quadrillions of views at this point.
Yeah, people love Donut.
Yeah, they love
Everybody loves
mostly
Donut.
Donut. Everyone loves Donut. They want more of Donut.
And Carl is a psycho. Everybody's like,
Carl's-
Carl's a madman. Donut is the best.
Yes.
Everybody they meet is like terrified of Carl because the only thing that they're showing in the videos, they like clip it to only show his most unhinged moments. So people find him and they're like, "Don't kill me," you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like,
And-
I'm not a psycho. They just portray me that way. But then he does something psycho, and they're like, oh,
It's kind of like how I edit Mac to sound like a psychopath in the podcast. Is he's actually just a teddy bear. He's nowhere near this
Actually just-
chaotic in real life.
yeah.
Actually, I think that the podcast edits me. We get enough of who I am actually that it's perfect. We don't change my character whatsoever. I start out chaotic good, and I end chaotic good.
Nothing neutral about it.
Amazing.
Nothing neutral about it.
Well, they find themselves out too late at night fighting lemurs and a creepy demon clown, and they're trying to get home when a naked lady covered in tattoos is like, "Hey, Carl, come over here." And so he does, naturally. And
Because she has like
her-
crazy charisma. This is when
Yeah.
we start feeling because it's the first person narrative, so he starts kind of describing what it feels like. And he's like, "I got to go talk to this lady. She's amazing." And he's like, and you're like, "What the hell?" And then he's like, "Oh, she's got like 300 charisma points. I have to go talk to her."
Also,
Yeah.
she's like human, but also bovine, so she kind of looks like a cow, but he's also attracted to her. That's
And a
how
fish.
intense. And
Yeah.
a fish. Yeah,
They
that's
also
how
got some
intense.
fish.
Yeah, so she's this weird amalgamation, but Carl's like, I'm attracted to her. Like I'm drawn to her because of her charisma, and I thought that was interesting.
Does the charisma, if you have high charisma and somebody else has high charisma, are you still in like, do you like them? Does it cancel out?
I think it does, because Donut's like, "Carl, we gotta go. Stop
Yeah.
talking to the naked chick." And he's like,
Yeah.
I can't. I physically can't do that. So this is their first side quest. So this is Sarina Signet, and she is waging war with a cursed circus, Grimaldi's cursed circus. That's where the demon clown came from, and the lemurs. And
Mhm.
they find out she's got this whole plan, which is to basically just lull them into sort of a false sense of security with her charisma, while the demon lions sneak. Well, does this happen later? She's like, "Let's meet up later." And
No,
then
this is the first one. So that
The
they
first interaction.
she
Okay,
gets
okay.
attacked. They get attacked by the mold lions after they meet her, and I guess because of Carl's fighting, she's like she was gonna kill Carl and use her blood magic, but then she's like, actually, you're pretty dope, so I'm not gonna do that.
She's like, I
We're
can
gonna
use
meet
you-
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can use you in a different way than I had originally intended.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah, and then they go back to the guild or whatever. They go back to Mordecai, and Mordecai's like, "You guys are idiots." There's these little side quests that are TV shows. So there's like quests, and then there's these other quests that are separately written like TV narratives for the NPCs that these companies will write this whole story, and then they hope a good crawler gets involved because then they'll get a bunch of sponsorship and stuff.
Vengeance of the Daughter.
Vengeance of the
Yeah.
Daughter. We find out that it's a bad TV show.
It's not. It's not good.
It's not
It's
one of
not
the
Yeah.
good
good
writing.
And Mordecai's like, "Why did you get involved with this?" And even Zev is like, "Dude, this is like a shitty one, and now
Yeah.
you have to do it." And like
Have we-
the
yeah.
writers will try to kill you off in the show because they don't
Right.
want you to take over the show. So they will write these NPCs to be OP, so they kill you. And like everybody's like, do not do this. And Carl's like, okay, I won't do it. And then immediately they leave the house and Signet's like, what's up, motherfucker? And grabs him. And he has to do it.
Yeah. So he had
She
intended
puts him to
not to do
sleep.
it, but yeah, she puts him to sleep real quick, so he's trapped. Ugh.
Yeah,
Signet's a
and it's
wild
creepy.
one.
Yeah. In your head, did you picture her as hot? Because when I first read the description, I was like, ooh, I bet she's like hot. And then as I read it, I was like, I think she's gross.
Yeah,
And
so
like from there, I like pictured her as like the Shape of Water thing.
I've been
Ah,
yeah, I've been using the wiki, the Dundercrawler Carl wiki, and people can post photos that they've drawn of the characters. So I do that as often as
Wondrous.
I can to get a visual of the characters. And it's just people on the internet who they're like, hey, I want to draw this person. And sometimes there's multiple, and it's just really cool artist renditions. And so that's what I did. And I think there's a really good one of her where she looks bovine, but also humanoid, but also fish-like. So if you're reading this book or following along with us, and you're like, what does a mold lion look like? What does Signet look like? Look it up on the wiki. Really cool people have contributed to that. So
We love that.
that's my
I
I
will
think
plug.
say these
I
artist renditions did not choose to make her ugly.
that's
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
there we go.
I feel like here's my thing. I feel like we have entered in to this whole world.
It's awesome. And I want to contribute. I'm like, there's a few characters I've looked up. I'm like, there's no picture for them. Maybe I could draw it. Maybe I could
Yeah.
do my take on like this is new enough that you can dive in and really get involved in the world, and that's really freaking cool. This
I
isn't like Harry
do.
Potter where it's like this has been done 1,000 times. This is new shit, and we're welcoming you in to the open arms of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. Thanks to Evan's work buddy who still didn't add me on LinkedIn. I'm mad at you. But it's an amazing thing.
You
That's it.
actively use LinkedIn? I didn't even look at that thing.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
a
she's not
professional
ugly in
adult.
this.
She's not ugly in it, yeah.
No, they went the way that they probably it would make sense.
But she
that they
looks like
do.
a cow, huh? And you're like,
Does
am
she
I
look like a
attracted to
cow?
cows? No.
You know, I'm not seeing any
I'm not seeing
pictures
cow
where
here.
she looks like a cow. She's got horns.
She just looks like a
but
half
that's
naked
it.
lady.
It's bovine qualities. Isn't her aren't her ears kind of bovine?
Okay, here's my thing. Cow and elf qualities don't differ to me. And she is also an elf. So like she would have pointy ears. She should be
How the hell
chunky.
can you not tell the difference between a cow and an elf?
Put her on all fours. Then we're talking.
Ugh, what is the
Like
matter
she
with
walks
you?
give her hoof hands. You know what I mean? Then we're talking about cow stuff. Pointy elf ears,
What
yeah,
is
short
the
horns.
matter with you? Kyle says.
What is the matter with me? Make her more of a cow.
Oh, I'm looking at I was thinking of a different character.
Yeah,
Who
make
are
her
you
more of a
thinking of?
cow.
I was thinking of someone who looked more like a cow.
I was gonna say I don't think
What are you
she's
talking about? Kiwi or something?
I don't know. Maybe we'll meet her later. Maybe not.
Oh.
Maybe read the book and figure it out because Kyle's confused.
I mean, you know,
well, you're forgiven. There's
It's
a
okay.
Thank
lot.
you.
but it's
lot of
cool that we're
characters.
entering into this whole wild world. It feels like we are Donut and Carl and Mongo.
Yeah.
Just fighting our own little dungeons every
Mm,
day. I
yeah,
will
we're-
say I just miss it. I like when I'm like going to bed because I'll listen to it and put it on the sleep timer, and I'm like, back in the dungeon.
Yeah, really.
That's
it's
exactly
so
what I do
good.
too. It's like taking over it's like my resting thing.
Yeah.
Like I
do
feel like
it
this is
when I'm doing chores and I'm like, I love doing chores now. Or I'll like drive my son around, try to get him to nap, which is impossible. But we turn on Dungeon Crawler Carl in the car and he falls right to sleep, even though terrible things are happening in the book. It's a beautiful thing.
It's
It
beautiful.
lulls him right to sleep.
Beautiful.
Lulls him right to sleep.
Decapitations and foot fetishes.
I'm
Yeah, the
raising a
stomping.
psychopath. Awesome.
I mean, aren't we all?
He's not a psychopath. He's perfect. I hear him right now. and I
Are we
miss
all?
him.
What psychopath are you raising?
Oh, mushroom, that little fucker.
Yeah.
I'm
hear
turning this
that.
Persian cat into a really crazy former child actor.
Good. Can't wait to be lulled by his charisma into doing unspeakable things.
Oh, it's
Well-
gonna fuck you up.
Sarina, her plan now, because she needs blood to do her blood magic, somebody's got to die. She kind of like lures this bear. Yeah, okay. So she puts Carl and Donut to sleep. And so Carl lets Mongo out and says, hey, protect Donut. I got to do this quest. Because Sarina's like, you are doing this quest or I'll kill you and Donut. So he's like, okay, fine. Goes along, leaves Mongo in charge of watching Donut's body. And then Sarina gets this bear, Heather the bear, to come out of the circus. And she is possessed by crazy worm parasites and just a monster. and Carl kills
On
her.
roller skates. She's on roller skates, by the way. That was crazy.
Yes.
She's a roller skating bear.
Next to the lady from the first book who was vomiting bugs and shiz that Carl had to kill, this is the second saddest character. It's just a sweet little bear named Heather who has been completely afflicted by these worms and is this monstrous creature. And Carl realizes, which becomes a theme, mercy killing is a thing here in this dungeon. And so the best thing he can do for her is kill her because she's living a tortured existence.
And she's dog walking him. That
Yeah.
fight is not going well for Carl.
She kicks his
He
ass
has
a
this,
little
like,
bit, but then he gets like one good hit, and she's like,
No, he
"Ooh,"
gets
and he's like,
lucky.
"Gotcha."
He doesn't he uses a potion.
The scratch off ticket.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So there are spells. There are tomes, which means you get the spell forever, and then there are scrolls, which means like you can use the spell once and then you burn the scroll. But then there are these scratch off tickets where you scratch it and it's either one thing or the other. So this is either fireball or custard, and the custard will heal whatever you throw it at. And so there's like a 50-50 chance. He's like really on his last leg. He's going to heal the bear or torture with a fireball, and it's custard. But it heals her from the parasites. All the parasites die. And that's the thing about the parasites is you got to kill like every worm that's inside of her or else she'll just keep coming back. So the worms all die. And then she's just back to being a bear and she's sort of fading away. And Sarina's like, all right, time to mercy kill this bear. And then I'll use her blood for my blood magic. So it is sad, but it's also
sad.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's this
I
thing that Matt Dinniman does that I think is great, where he'll set up these crazy like parasite circus bears, and then Carl has to fight it, and then he'll just put in these really heartfelt, long, deep moments where like Heather's like he's like Carl looked into her eyes, and he could tell this was like a mother and a daughter and a bear, and like this bear had so much life, and it was just begging for him to kill it, and I did, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the dungeon is not like a video game you play where you're just slaughtering goons or whatever. Like these things all have substance. These things all have backgrounds and dreams of sorts. So initially you see them, you're like, that's terrifying. But then as you get to know them and start thinking about them, it's very sad. And that's a very interesting, probably one of the most interesting parts about this book to me, this whole series, is that it's not just goons, hive mind things. It's these sad, real creatures that have feelings, and Carl has to deal with them the best way he can.
Okay. Matt Dinniman does such a good job setting up this world outside of the dungeon and like how it interacts with these characters that you yo-yo back and forth between like, ooh, we're on a fun, happy adventure where it's gross and kind of funny, and there's an AI that says weird stuff. And then it's like, you guys are trapped in this Hunger Games nightmare, and you're fighting against the corporations that are trying to ruin you, and like all the capitalism is destroying the world, and they're trying to fight against them, and it goes back and forth between those in just such a satisfying way.
It works
I did.
really well.
It works super well, and then you don't want to do it as much anymore. What does that make you guys?
Oh.
Right? And so, do you guys feel like this book falls in that category, or the other category of like it makes you feel like, ooh, yeah, it is good to like fight for your rights and like blah blah blah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
what do you guys think of it?
I think this book falls in the category of it's good to rebel against corrupt systems and it's good to fight against them, but it's a difficult battle and it's not going to be easy and you're probably going to die and you're probably going to lose, but it's a worthy fight. That's what I get from this.
But do you get inspired, or do you feel like this scratches that itch and you don't think about it afterwards?
I still think about it, unfortunately.
Good. That's good. We don't want
Yeah.
we don't want the entertainment to take it away from us. We want it to inspire us, right? Right? Am I right?
No, I agree.
Are we starting a rebellion right now?
We should. There's
Let's
probably
do it.
something. Fucking subscriptions.
I'm not going to rebel
Fuck
against
subscriptions.
There's
Fuck
more
you,
important things to
subscription.
rebel against. I'm not going to tell you what to rebel against. I guess you can rebel against good
Well,
subscriptions.
there's definitely more important things, Kyle, but we're having fun. We're subscriptions.
Subscriptions.
Kyle, stop being such a downer, caring about like actual things.
Yeah,
We're
of
taking
course we should
Netflix
probably
down.
rebel against like the government that obviously hates all the people. Half of them look like me and Kyle's family, so we should hate them. But subscriptions.
Yeah, that's the one I'm worried about. We'll tackle subscriptions after.
Well, let's start
We're-
with subscriptions. That's our
We're
that's
coming
our
for you, subscriptions.
yeah. Let's burn off a little.
That's
Let's do a
Okay,
practice
start
run on
small.
subscriptions. Yeah, like let's get after like those like DoTerra. We're gonna start. We're start local.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Taking them down.
I'll
We're
take my
coming for you,
pants off.
Dope.
I'll come to Utah, take my pants off, get my feet out, and start stomping on these sons of bitches.
And I'll just be the AI in your head, just typing you up. Be like, yeah,
Yeah,
smash
do it.
those oils with your feet. Anyways, so they have the blood of the bear that Carl just mercy killed,
Long ass story short.
which allows
Well, this
Sarina.
is a big important setup. I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
point it. As having I'm like one book ahead of you guys, right?
I just finished the fourth.
3.
You're 3.
I'm 3 books ahead of you.
3 whole books ahead of us.
Yeah.
All of this stuff, it's super dumb and super little, but after like because I've re-listened, I'm like, oh my god, this like the second book is super important. It's almost more important than the third book in
Interesting.
terms of things that it sets up, because it tells you how a bunch of stuff works. A lot of the spells and the things that they receive, and like how like a lot of the viewership stuff, and like the episode, this whole part with Signet is super important later too.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes,
Ugh.
which is I'm excited for that because we're like I'm just getting to the book where this storyline picks up again, so I'm sure all this is going to come back in. So the blood magic allows Sarina to turn her tattoos. She like brings them to life, and they become like puppet soldiers. Which where have we heard, by the way, somebody that runs a haunted circus with tattoos that move around and like do their bidding? Doesn't that sound
100%.
familiar to you guys?
Very
Something
familiar.
wicked this way.
This way comes. It's not. What was the book Mac was trying to convince us was like something
The
wicked
Crossing,
this way
which
comes?
I
The
stand
Crossing.
by. Also, hi G. G said that she understood why I thought that. Well, she didn't. She thought I was an idiot too. But hi G in Portugal, our one listener in Portugal. Shout out G.
G in
Shout out G.
Portugal. You're a real person. That's awesome. Yeah, but
she's a real one.
But this is actually very similar, this part, to something wicked this way comes. A tattooed person in an evil circus. Very interesting.
There's a couple parts in this series where I keep being like, how did Matt Dinniman know, like before we even started the podcast, what the books we were going to do were? Because I think he's just very well read, and he references everything simultaneously, and so we're just seeing the parts that we recognize. But it's like, there are these subtle nods where it's like, I refuse to believe that this is parallel thinking. Like, I think that this is a purposeful nod to something wicked this way comes. Carl gets the Lathe of Heaven.
Yep. Which has a bunch about aliens. This book, this book just puts it in perspective how perfect it is for us. There's something there's a little thing that just for one of us, it's so specifically like, this is what you like, remember? Here's a thing that you
love
for you. That's your shit right there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's great. So tattoos come to life. They storm the circus, and Carl's got to get in there. And Grimaldi is a giant vine that has taken over the big top. So it's huge. It's like tree-sized big vine. And there are also like maggots involved that are, those are the ones that are possessing everyone. So he goes in, and there's this demon clown that gives him like a scoop of maggot ice cream, and he's like, no thanks. But then the plan ends up being he's got to be possessed. All right, so he poisons himself so that he can put a drop of his blood onto the vine, because the vine drinks blood. So he poisons his blood. He's like actively dying, but he's using his healing, and the blood goes in the vine and like infects it, and then he has the showrunners of the Vengeance of the Daughter kind of by the balls, where he's like, hey, I'm going to ruin your whole show by killing off this villain right now. I can heal it, but you got to let me live. You can't kill me off for your stupid story. So he's kind of got the villain hostage. He had to get sign off from Zev, who we haven't really talked about.
No.
She is their PR representative. So she's one of the fish people that's running this whole thing.
The Kuatine.
The Kuatine.
They're like the evils, kind of, right?
Well, they're like the little,
races.
they're one of the evil races, but they're like poor in this. And
so they got everything riding on this.
Yes, and they're failing.
Well, I think they are one of the bigger corporations, but they're in financial trouble because there's like a MAGA group.
Oh, yes,
that's
what it is. Yes,
it's
the Bloom.
Faction.
The Bloom is this faction, and they've kind of taken over the Borant Corporation, which is this mega alien corporation that kind of is running the dungeon. but they've run it into the ground because they're like super. It is definitely just like they're
Fish
just
Trump.
super far right fish
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hate anything that's not them, like fish
Yeah.
supremacy type stuff.
Yeah.
But they've run it into the ground, so they're in financial trouble. We got to talk about this. Like
We have to
like
talk
I know
about
we're
it.
It's
going on
huge.
tangents,
Yeah,
but this
yeah.
is a major part of the story. They started the crawl early as a way to dodge a collection action, which is basically the Valte Corporation are little worm people that take over like bodies, like corpses, and they also have like little tanks that they can keep themselves in.
Yeah, they can
Anyways, the
just be in a little
Valte,
robot tank with a body. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they look like Grim Reapers, which is
Yeah.
kind of metal, but they are another super mega powerful corporation, and they're probably worse than the Borant Corporation, but they're trying to take over Borant because of the financial trouble and everything. So the collection action is basically them declaring war, but there's all this legalese where the Kuatin are like, okay, we're starting the crawl. You can't attack us during the crawl. You can't collect on these debts while we have an active crawl going. And they're trying to rush through it because they actually don't get paid until the crawl is over. So they're trying to like rack up the money and get all the sponsorships and get their cut, but then they want the dungeon to be over. So this is crucial because they've left all these holes. They've done a bad job. It's really rushed. And so because of that, Carl's sorta is this is the first crawl where crawlers really have an angle to take
Yeah.
advantage of like a desperate company that's running this crawl that's like skipping a lot of things and cutting corners. So that's what's happening. And I'm trying to remember why I
Zev.
started talking about this. Zev.
Look
Yes,
at Zev.
Zev is one of the
Zev, yeah.
Kuatin. She's not in the bloom. She doesn't wear the little pin. And so she's cool. She loves sitcoms. And Donut and her are just like geeking out over Gilmore Girls. And so they're pretty tight. Zev has to go clear the whole I'm gonna like hold this circus hostage thing. And the showrunners are like, okay, fine. She's sort of their liaison with the people that are doing the Vengeance of the Daughter thing.
And
they're like, yeah.
and
Thank
also
you.
Carl has become super popular because they go on these shows in between. There's like talk shows in between floors, and on the last talk show, he like made a big muck, didn't he? Wasn't that the one with Hecla? And he like gave a huge speech and like embarrassed Prince,
The Crown Prince.
Stalwart.
What's his name? Stalwart. Yeah.
He like it went on his show and like embarrassed him and like gave a whole speech
Yeah.
about how like you will not break us and fuck you guys and you guys are a bunch of bitches. And so now he's getting tons of views because everybody in the galaxy is like, oh shit, like this guy's crazy.
Yeah. Carl's making enemies outside of the dungeon, which is insane.
But
That
then
every time,
yeah.
and so people want to follow him because they're like, this guy, he's insane. What is he doing?
Yeah.
So yes, that all comes to culminate in the fact that Carl has a bit more control than they might because of that really good background that Evan gave. Thank you.
And the way that happened in this conversation does kind of happen in the book sometimes where it'll be like, Carl will be like, well, that's something that we planned. And then like right as something scary is about to happen, it'll be like, all right, well, here's a little color. And that, because that happens during this scene is he's like, I'm going to poison this guy. So this is what my plan is, just so that you know, even though he's not talking to us. And he's like, I talked to Zev, and Zev told me that there's the producers. And then now you're here.
Did it drive you crazy? There's this writing device Matt Dinniman uses over and over again, which is Carl goes, I have a plan. Let's do this. And then he doesn't tell you the plan because you're going to find out what it is as it's happening. And he's like, all right, everybody, we talked about
annoying, but I love it. It's like crack. It's
It works. It works really well. But he's like, I have a plan. So you're like, we should know what this is because of the narrative. But he
because
chooses
we're
to
with
put
the
it
character the whole time,
which is interesting. Yeah, but it works very well.
It's fascinating because it's told like first person. You only ever experience things other than the epilogues and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Through Carl's point of view. But Matt Dinniman's decided that like what will happen is you're with him as he's beating through stuff, but randomly in between chapters and stuff, he'll have there's been times when they have this huge plan that they put together with other crawlers and stuff, and you're not a part of it. You just are with him while it's happening, and then it will kind of cut back to in Matt Dinniman's little way where he'll be like, oh man, this is such a stupid plan. I can't believe I'm doing this because well, I told so and so that I was going to do this, and I told this and this to this and this person,
Yeah.
and it's
You
so
learn it in real
annoying.
time, yeah. But
Yeah,
it
he
makes it more
remembers the
engaging.
plan while you're with him in the plan, and so you're remembering him remembering something he already remembered. But it is very
Yeah.
engaging.
All the while, things are exploding and insane shit is happening where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's such a good plan. My man came through.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
Yeah.
great.
it's very clever the way he does it. I love it. It's bizarre. I've never read that form of narrative shift around, but it works very well.
And it
It's
does
great.
that thing where, like, it kind of feels like a Deus Ex Machina, but it's like, but it does make sense, and, like, all of the stuff makes sense. And, like, it's even stuff I was getting really mad about in, like, the 7th book. In this book, there I'm like, "That's just a stupid thing," and I'm like, "Oh, he set it up 3 books
No,
ago."
that was set up a long time ago. Yeah. There is a bit of exposition that you brought up that I forgot that, like, also we simply can't skip. So, really quick, the Skull Empire, they're the orcs. So, we kind of have three big bad factions out there that we know of with the Valte, the Borant Corporation we know about, and then the Skull Empire. They're the orcs. So, they went on one of the Prince Orcs shows
And we
and
talked
he
about
was a
that in the
dick.
first one, I think.
We
A
talked
little bit.
about that. So that it's just important to tie that together. So that
Mhm.
show, he humiliated the orc guy, and now the Skull Empire hates him. And then he goes on a show and they're like, "So tell us about the Skull Empire." And he's like, "They're the worst. And you, if you're living in the Skull Empire, you should rise up. And like there you can't be treated like this." And then somebody at the table they're with, because everybody's in separate boats, and then they're hologrammed into this room because this is like it's like a panel, it's like a discussion, like a round table type format show that they're on. And one of the people just blips out when he's talking about his rebellion ship because the Skull Empire lasered one of the boats and they thought it was the one Carl was on, but there was like a last minute swap. So there's probably some shenanigans going on behind the scenes, but they just killed like this very important, I think one of the Valte, and in response, the Valte laser that ship. The Skull Empire Queen is on it. So now, like the what started out as
Yeah,
like a
they kill
small
the
beef
queen.
is a
Yeah.
big fucking deal
Yeah,
now.
I love it. Carl is causing intergalactic wars between all these bad guys. Like he's causing so much chaos and it's so cool. That's the part that I'm like gives me hope. I'm like the odds going to be more stacked against this guy, but he's still doing good out there. And doing these crazy things. Yeah, all that background stuff that we talk about is the most fascinating, which is insane in a book about crazy demon clowns. That's the most fascinating. Like once you get into the politics of it, it gets really interesting. And I haven't gone beyond book 4, but I hope it dives more into that because that's such a cool, deep aspect to it.
Yeah, and this book is the one that kinda sets up how Carl can survive through, like, in this part that we have been talking about for 20 minutes with the circus, but it's one of the more important parts because it does set up, like, how he kinda goes about stuff, is he figures out that parts of the game have to happen certain ways, and if he interacts with the outside world just as much as he's playing the actual game, and he does, like, this 4D he breaks the fourth wall a little bit, the more he does that, they'll edit out that he's doing that anyways. So he's like, I just have to actively kind of like play the game and play like the media game at the same time. So that way I can survive. And this is our first kind of introduction into that. And it becomes like a major way that he survives and like makes moves throughout the rest of the series. But it's super cool to read here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the circus storyline draws to a close because he basically convinces Grimaldi to like let Sarina go. She's sort of like tethered to him and she wants to move on. So he convinces Grimaldi to let her move on. Anyways, this what's happening in not so many words is she's going to now go to the sixth floor and then whatever happens in book 5 is going to happen there. So,
And he'll be a part of it. He's promised that he'll be a part of the next
yes, that was
episode.
part of the deal is he was like, "Hey, you want an interesting story? Don't kill me off now. I'll come back and do some stuff." So, yeah, he keeps making promises that he's like writing checks, he's got to cash later. So,
Been
um,
there.
been there.
Who writes a
So
check these days?
never one time in my life.
Never written a
I've
physical check.
written one.
What were you, 12?
No, I wrote it last year to get my passport. I had to mail it in with my
Oh,
passport
yeah,
stuff.
that's right, because
Oh,
you
yeah.
lost all of your IDs,
Calamity Day.
in, like,
Yeah.
one day.
Calamity Day.
Yeah.
MacCalamity Day.
Indeed.
Calamity Day.
McClamity. So that quest has wrapped up. It does take most of the book, but then there's this whole other thing that happens where they're like, okay, well, that was crazy. Mordecai was right. We should not do quests anymore. And they go back to the town and they're trying to find the stairwell. There's a whole point is like, let's get to a stairwell, but there is it another quest? How do they get involved
it's
another
with Mrs.
quest.
Quill?
So
Yeah.
their whole plan is like Mordecai's like, stop doing quests. We need to just grind and practice and kill mobs.
And then
And
go to
like,
the stairwell so you can go to the next level.
yeah,
That's
because I
it.
think there is a stairwell underneath the circus thing. So they're like, we know where a stairwell is. So just practice. Don't do quests anymore. Just go practice and like level up as
Mm.
much as you can because like we said with all the Kuatine and all the Belte and all the Borant and all that stuff, the Borant is run by the Kuatine. I'm just putting that together, right? Okay. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm an
Yes.
idiot. I'm the dumbest one of the three. G told me that. Thank you, G. Our
Ooh.
one listener in Portugal. She also said
Savage.
that Evan, your voice is amazing. Kyle, you're a delight. And then I could use some work apparently. So
Well, gee, now I'm. Oh, gee. That's so sweet of you. What a sweetheart.
okay,
That's
Kyle
so
is
nice. I'm
blushing
flattered.
so
I'm
hard right
flattered.
now,
as you
G.
should be. And then also we have a bunch of listeners that are listening like 2 or 3% throughout any of the other countries. That was just Tiffany while she was on tour.
Damn
All right.
it.
Ah,
But hey, a
yes,
win's a
okay.
win. We might show up in their search engines. We're English
That's
speaking.
right. Hell yeah.
But what was I saying? But they're supposed to just be grinding, and they go into a bar one of the days, to like relax. And there's like this crying.
Orc lady, right?
It's a crying orc lady, and Mordecai's like, "Leave it alone. You can't save them all." And this is like a thing that rings in Carl's head for a lot of the rest of the time. And they go to bed, and then when they come back out, Mordecai's still there, hammered, and he's like, "Well, she's gone, you idiot." And Donut's like, "Did you try to take the quest?" And Carl's like, "Does everybody just know who I am all of a sudden?" And the next day, they leave the bar or whatever, and the orc lady's dead, and she has like something written on her, and they're like, "Oh shit!" So now we have to do the quest. And Mordecai's like, "You guys are idiots. Great job. So now you have to do the quest."
Nice.
Carl's humanity in a world that does not value humanity and morals is what saves him and gets him ahead. And that's what's so damn awesome about this book.
It puts him in the Katnisses and the Harry Potters realm of protagonists for me, but it does one thing better, where it's like he is super like, "Oh, we should save everybody," and that can be kind of like an annoying quality, and so like, okay, get over it. But he has like such this rebellious, like, it's like, fuck you guys. Like every time he's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, people need to be saved because fuck you guys. You're not gonna make us monsters that just murder everybody. You guys are assholes. But he will, the second you cross him, he will murder the living bejeebus out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Once you've aligned yourself with the camp of like the evil showrunners, he's gonna kill you.
Because because you are now part of the bad thing that is hurting people. His goal is to
Yeah.
not lose his humanity, and once you align with the side that does not value humanity, he's like, okay, well now you're the enemy,
And I
and
think
there's nothing I can do about that, and so now you have to get out of the way. And it's interesting. I love it. It makes me think of Superman, where like vulnerability is the greatest strength. Brene Brown said that. Read up about it. That's what we don't have enough in this world. And I think that in a weird way, it highlights that, like, where Carl's vulnerability, you could argue, is that he cares a lot, but that is becoming his strength and leading him to make the decisions he's making.
yeah, and like
it's so good.
Thank you.
it's stuff
Nice of you.
yeah, that was really great. I
That's
think
great.
that's something that we've been working with and talking about a bunch on this podcast, is like our weaknesses are actually our strengths in a weird way. You know, they don't define you.
I'm not going to quote the Book of Mormon scripture that says that. I'm not going to do it.
Does the Book of Mormon
Don't
say
do it.
that?
Not going to do
Oh
it.
my God, those creepy grifters from upstate New York had a couple things right that they probably stole from other stuff. But it's
It's in the Book of Ether. I'm not going to say it.
Book of Ether, terrible name. But I mean, they stole it from, that's in probably the Bhagavad Gita, that's in the Bible, that's in everything. But
It's just a true thing.
it's a truism. It's in the Quran, probably. It's in the fucking, something that we kind of have been talking about a ton on this podcast is
Yeah.
like kind of, it's nice to read. I think it's good to read these books to find your humanity a little bit more. Even in what's the one that we went on and on about this for? Stranger in the Woods, about
Yeah.
how like your weaknesses and your like illnesses or your like how you're prescribed has nothing to do with your actual like Carl's a crazy person who definitely like stomps people's heads in, but those weaknesses are his power. He uses those
Mm.
to great aplomb, and I think that's you need to read and see stuff like that because it can help you when like you don't want to finish your taxes and you're just like fuck it, I'll just I'll give up on
Yeah.
life. You know what
There
I
was
mean? It
a
gets you through those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's silly, but it gets you through the dumb little days
No,
when
you're
you're like,
right.
I can't,
yeah.
you know.
There's a quote, Seth MacFarlane, who is interestingly gonna be the one running this
Making this
series.
show.
He was
Again, Seth, I am available. I am tech avail.
Seth, we're
I
available as
I have
writers and actors.
I got
But
big feet.
so he talks about how the media, a lot of the media we consume is just so dreary and doesn't have hope, and I think that's what we're missing. Is like sometimes you'll watch a show and you'll just be like, ugh, I feel sad. Like it was good artistically, it was great, the writing was great, but I feel so sad. I don't have hope. And he's arguing that shows need to be more inherently hopeful, and I think this
Mm.
book does that well while having the difficulty and the sadness and the reality, but also being like, but there's still some hope in this, which is just a classic narrative structure. But like we're missing that now, so I think this book does that well, giving us the ultimate underdog, but giving hope when there isn't any.
So the story, like, we'll just speed run this.
I mean,
Miss
it's not.
Quill,
There's not that much stuff in it.
Yeah.
So
there's
like,
not. It's fun. It's a fun read. You should read this part, but we're gonna skip through quite a bit. All right. Let me just wrap this up. There's a secretary that works for the magistrate. They've got to talk to the magistrate. She's like, "Oh, he's gone." And then they blow up the building, and then they go in, and there's like this insane room of Hellraiser-like horrors where there's like all these like people strung up by chains and corpses and everything. Turns out Miss Quill, there is no magistrate. She is an insane dark necromancer. She's been doing a spell and like built like stealing energy from these corpses
It's
for
prostitutes, and
years.
that's what leads them to him.
Yeah.
They follow the sweet orc lady who died because Miss Quill has been killing these prostitutes and people and stealing their energy, and that's what lead them to Miss Quill.
and
Yes, and
Wanted to
she's
clarify that.
A funny bit of Carl just being like, God, they're just killing all these prostitutes. Like, it's not bad to be a sex worker. And like,
Yeah.
there's this whole like weird like thread of like they're like being shamed for being sex workers, and he's like, him and Donut are both like, what the hell? Like,
Very
where?
sex positive, yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
this happening? Like, why are they killing prostitutes? And there's literally MAGA like elves that help kill the prostitutes, and they're like, these guys are freaking idiots. Like, why are they even here? It's great.
Yes, yeah, it's like a commentary. So, and you'll notice that the Borant Corporation is like trying to inject like there's a monetary purpose and they're rushing through it, but they also can't help but like inject their politics into the show, which anyways, is kind of funny. Kind of a
Mhm.
little bit of a real life thing that happens. So anyways, she's stealing their energy and she's been like casting this spell for years and it's going to just blow up the whole floor. And they're like, okay, well, we got to stop that from happening. And so there's this soul crystal and it's going to explode. But she has all these beanie babies and one of them's in a nice case. And after they blow up the building, they steal a couple of the beanie babies, including the nice case that's like, I don't know. He gets it, and then in his inventory, he's able to read its properties, and it's like you could put anything in here. And also, if you have something that you couldn't normally put in your inventory, and you put it in this case, now you can put it in your inventory. So he gets that case, and he traps the soul crystal in there before it explodes because it's like a mega nuke of energy, and then stashes it in his inventory. But then the AI is like, okay, there's this crazy countdown, and the magic is like from the spell is emanating through the dungeon. So like anybody that's wearing magical items, those are lighting on fire and like everything, like shit's going down and like so many crawlers are going to die because of this. And so he's like, everybody get to stairwells as fast as you can. And they run to stairwells and they take off all their magical gear, including Donut's tiara that she takes off. That is going to become a issue later because if she takes that off, it'll pop over to some other crawler that they then have to kill before they can get down past a certain floor. It's this whole thing. They get to a stairwell and they get down before the whole floor is gonna blow.
Yeah,
Everybody's
they
gonna die.
accidentally because I think this is one of the things of like the loophole with the other companies is like they that everything that happened was not supposed to happen the way that they did it. So Carl and Donut essentially like accidentally killed the magistrate first. And so they have to go talk to his husband or to her husband. And then when they get there, he's like not prepared and like is kind of confused. And then Carl has rigged the building to explode and then it accidentally breaks the crystal. So he has to put the crystal in the box. And so it's going to start killing everybody because they've done all these like little things that they're not supposed to do in a row. And it basically breaks the floor. And it shows you that you can break the floors.
Yeah. And then the takeaway, as I understand it, is Carl now has in his inventory basically like a nuclear
A
bomb that he can pull out at any time. And it's probably not going to serve him well because it's going to explode as soon as he opens it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the second it comes out of his inventory, it'll explode,
Yeah,
right?
so that's his doomsday scenario where Carl now has access to this nuke in his inventory because of these crazy things that led up to it, which is insane. And it goes to show that yeah, he broke the level because like you're not supposed to be able to do that, and now he does.
Yeah. And then the book ends. It's a really, of the books, I feel like it's the shortest one. And it's just
Yeah.
a quick, like, it's a tutorial level that they accidentally break because they do it too hard.
They go too hard. Yeah, exactly. So once again, they have made it to a stairwell. They will go into the next floor. They went a little early, so they'll actually be in like a stasis. They'll be paused for a little while, but it's because they were going to die if they didn't jump down the stairwell. And that's where we leave this one to pick it back up in the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, which is a fun one as well. So, wow, we've been talking about it the whole time. We loved this. We love this so much. This is just our jam here.
I will say this of all I've gone through the 4 books, this was probably my least favorite. Not that it wasn't great, and that I recommend reading it 100%. But if you're gonna write like 10 books, not all of them are gonna be like completely satisfy me. It's a weird thing to say about a book, but this book didn't fully satisfy me, and that's okay. I was satisfied enough. I got there, didn't fully get there, but it's still really good.
In the reading of the series, this definitely feels like a break. Like it's kind of not a pause, but it's a training level. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind
a
of
training level, and that's important. It's very important, and it's still entertaining as fuck. But I'm just trying not to. I'm not trying to just be like this. We got to offer some more criticism, right? It's an amazing book. It's an
It's
amazing
the most
series.
boring one. It doesn't really feel like it adds up to anything. It's kind of just jokes and
Yeah,
like
but it's interesting because McKylin, you've
lists.
read farther. Is you're saying no? It actually comes. It's a very important one plot wise. So
It's an
I think-
It's like a whole book of exposition for the rest of the
Yeah,
book.
which
That
is
you
awesome.
kind of for the rest of the series. Like if you view the series the way it is supposed to be, I guess with any series, is it's one coherent story. This is the exposition dump that has to take place after you do the first like, okay, this is the world. Okay, this is how the world works, and so you got to eat a little. This is your veggies, but it's fun veggies, and they're
Yeah.
silly. You know,
It's
Yeah.
like sweet potatoes. Are those vegetables?
that's a
I
vegetable.
think
that's a
technically
root
it's
vegetable.
starch.
A starch? Damn it, because that's
That's
like
a
my
root
go-to.
vegetable because it's
That's
a
my.
potato.
But I think it's a starch because a potato's a starch.
But I thought that's still a
There
vegetable.
are no vegetables. Sorry to break it to you. What
vegetables
is a
aren't real?
vegetable? Define vegetable.
I don't-
There's no.
I don't know.
That's true.
There
That
are
means
none.
that any vegetable that's even like thinks it's a vegetable, it's not a vegetable because you
Wait,
can't
so what
define a vegetable.
are there fruits?
There are
there's
fruits.
Yeah.
There's a definition for fruit.
But
It has
there isn't for
seeds.
vegetable?
No, because
Define a vegetable
corn
right now.
is a fruit.
Yeah, tomato.
Sweet potatoes are a root. Carrots are a root. There
So
are
it's
no
just-
vegetables.
So it's roots and fruits.
But then beans are also
That's
They
a
grow-
legume.
Legumes,
boom.
not vegetables.
no
Celery.
Wow.
vegetables.
You're blowing
It's
my
a
mind. I
stock.
love this. I can't wait to
There
go
Celery's a
with
stock.
my wife about this.
Yeah.
She tries to make
What's
me eat more
corn?
vegetables.
Corn has no nutritional
Fruit.
value. It's in
Corn is
everything.
fruit.
Delicious. I love
No,
Corn
it's
corn.
not
saved.
delicious. It's useless. It's the only thing that America
Oh,
makes.
dude.
Dude, it's
Corn,
far from useless.
corn sustained the Americas, the entire Americas.
But yeah, it's gross. It's like all the syrups that you're not supposed to have. Corn. Your body can't process corn. That's
I'm
why
just
it's in your
saying,
poops.
corn is an invaluable thing.
Slather
our
some
species.
butter on there.
It's like a
I'm not
Just
saying it's my
salt.
favorite, but
basically
you
a
can't
pebble.
underestimate the value of corn.
It's a
You go to
ubiquitous rock.
town.
And also, corn tortillas taste like shit, but it's valuable.
It's good if
I
you
just
can't have
beg to
gluten.
differ. You couldn't be more. I am very pro corn. You guys have.
I'm
I'm
not
pro-corn.
anti-corn. No, I am
Corn-
anti-corn. Corn's no good. It's useless.
I appreciate corn for what
How
it's
you feel
done for
about
the
whiskey?
world.
How you feel about bourbon?
Bourbon? It's not good for you. It's a poison.
It's not
But
good
Get
for
some
you.
tequila. Have some tequila. Like a real man, like The Rock.
Agave, not a vegetable, by the way.
Oh, my dream of all dreams.
Goodness.
It kept me up one night while I was re-listening to this, and then I'll be done. Is I literally was just laying in bed, just like, oh my God, I wish I could be in this movie or a TV show. I was like,
Yeah.
I was just like spitting. I was just like, please, God. I almost prayed. I was like, oh, that's like what I wanted
wouldn't you
so
pray?
bad because it was just would
Pray.
be so awesome. I basically prayed. I did pray.
Pray for it. That's great.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll manifest it. I love it.
Yeah,
Book in one word. This one,
necessary.
exposition. Yeah.
Wait, what was your word, Mac?
Necessary.
Necessary.
Unnecessary evil. Sorry.
Evans was
Main
exposition. Mine was, I don't know, middle.
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 Oh, good. All right. Well, another book in the books. Thank you, Matt Dinniman, you beautiful, gorgeous creature. How are you the way that you are? I would love to meet Matt Dinniman. I feel like he'd be a chill hang.
I want to shake your hand. I want to
I wanna
shake your hand, Matt
I want
Dinniman.
to meet that
my
son of a bitch and
Shake
give him
my
a firm
hand.
handshake.
Have you seen that airplane video?
Yeah, shake my hand.
Shake
I
my
want to
hand.
shake your
I wanna
hand.
shake your hand. Just a guy berating someone to shake his hand. Okay.
Well, thank you, Matt Dinniman. We want to shake your hand for creating this enchanting world. And thank you to our sponsor, The Corn Kid. Well, yeah, The Corn Kid.
Yeah,
He
keep
loves
reading.
corn.
Whoa, what are
Yeah.
the chances?
What are the
What
chances? I read this
Are
last night.
the odds? My
Yeah,
goodness.
we're
sponsored
manifesting.
by
This is what we're doing.
The Corn
Yeah.
Kid. I gotta watch that video. Man, that guy gave me hope at a very dark time because that was like the pandemic. I think he gave
Yeah.
a lot of us hope. Him and Steve from Blues Clues,
Blues
who
Clues.
popped back into our
And-
lives and said, we're gonna
No.
make it through this. Well, yep, we wish The Corn Kid the best. Thank you to you. And also
You can read what I wrote.
Kyle
you don't
wrote-
have to.
Kyle wrote, we wish him the best as he transitions from the Corn Kid to the Corn Man. Oh, good luck leaving that label behind. Follow the show on Spotify if you want to know about future episodes. Follow us on Instagram at BibliaFools if you want to go behind the scenes. And if you have a book that you want us to read so you don't have to, email us at bibliafools@gmail.com. Parting advice from me, my goodness, take one step at a time. Be like Carl. Refuse to be broken, and just you're going to end up in places, and in those places there'll be a right thing to do that is kind to people around you and makes the world a little bit tiny bit better. And just do that thing when you get there. That's my advice.
Yeah.
We will see you
Amen.
next week.
Amen.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.